Okay, this happened a couple of days ago, so I may leave some things out or get some things wrong, but I had to get it all out. A group of my friends and my BF all started using the Randonautica app like a week ago because we were tired of driving around in circles trying to find something to do. We used it for a whole day and went to so many points that they're either nothing or, number 2, private property. We decided to try it again in the area near my friend's house just to mess around. We ended up finding this point where there was a very small gravel area for us to pull off and the absence of a no trespassing sign. The GPS was telling us that we still had to walk about 800 feet to get to our point. However, I was taking random videos and noticed what looked like a doorway in the woods. It ended up being a very old, run-down 2-room house that looked like it had been abandoned for about a decade. As soon as we got out of the car, I started feeling nauseous. Anyway, since we saw the house in the woods, we completely forget about our original point. My best friend and boyfriend aren't afraid of anything, so they decided to go inside the house. Me and another friend stayed outside and took videos. They were entering the house. I told everyone that I heard voices. No one else heard anything, so I convinced myself maybe it was an echo from a family down the street, and they kept going. After they entered the house, I felt even worse but convinced myself that I was just being a big baby. Then I heard sounds in the woods. My friend and I outside heard something about the size of a German Shepherd tearing through the woods around the corner of the house, but saw no movement at all. We turned to start going back to the car and I heard my friend yell, "Fuck that, go!" Like I said, my best friend does not get scared of anything. They came running out of the building and we sprinted back to the car. As we were all piling in, my friend's face just went blank, like she had seen some shit. I started having a panic attack. After that, I was also afraid that I was also going to see something. As we drove away, they told us that there was a symbol in the wall in the house with some gibberish spray painted on the wall as well. As soon as she saw the symbol, there was a pounding like a boot stomp from the corner of the room. That is why she was yelling. We decided to drive past one more time, just to see if we have dreamed that shit. After going around a second time, a black truck started following us until we lost them. We went back to my house to smoke and calm down. My best friend started going through her phone, and there were about 6 videos that looked like she took on accident while she was at work. When we played the videos, there was no audio except low growls and occasional scream. Screams aren't unusual, really. She works with kids. But we also noticed that the creepy videos were switching in the middle of the video to slow-mo. You can't make just part of the video slow-mo in the camera editing. You also can't switch between normal and slow-mo in the middle of a video like that. I have tried. She told me to look at my videos and make sure nothing in my camera roll was the same. I took 4 videos near the house. When I watched them, they were all normal. A few minutes after she asked, I checked the video again and mine were distorted in the same way. In both videos, I can actually see the structure of the house. The video goes silent and cuts to slow-mo in the middle of the video. In the original, my boyfriend was talking the entire time, but it cut it all out, all of the audio, but a low growling sound, just like in my friend's videos. And then the last 2 seconds or so goes back to normal. I haven't deleted the videos yet, but I am unable to upload them with the story. It still makes me uncomfortable to watch because I feel all the feelings again just from watching the videos. Even though nothing sketchy happened since then, I still feel uneasy. I felt dazed and disoriented and had a headache and smelled sulfur. I don't know what that place actually was, but something wrong was going on there. I posted the videos that I took on Imgur, but I'm not sure if this link works. Please let me know. When I, 27 female, was about 4, my parents and I went to my grandmother's house, my mom's mom, which was haunted. There was a room upstairs that would always be ice cold. Like in the middle of the summer, there would be no air conditioners or fans in the entire house, and that room would be freezing. Anyway, we get there and my uncles, who were 6 and 3, say let's go outside and play. So I took my shoes off, but before I run out, my mom tells me to put my shoes back on. And being a kid, I didn't listen. So we ran to the swing set, and I jumped on the slide while my uncles ran to the corner of the yard. I was about to slide down when out of the corner of my eye, I saw a tall shadow next to me. Then I felt large hands on my arm that pushed me off. I landed with my head near the end of the slide and my feet were near the ladder. I was a little disoriented when I sat up, but when I stood, I noticed I have a patch of dead grass stuck to my foot. I shook my foot as hard as I could and the grass would not come off. I bent down and wiped it off and there was a gash across the top of my foot. I told my parents. We went to the hospital and I got about 8 stitches. My uncle found a huge chunk of broken glass right next to the slide. Everyone thought the slide leg maybe just buckled. I was not a small child. But if the leg had just buckled, then I would have just gone over the ledge with my head near the ladder rather than my feet. A couple months ago, I was talking to my grandma about what happened and she laughed and said, "Oh, then it was probably your Uncle Charlie." Like, what? Can you guess which room Uncle Charlie died in? If you guess the ice cold room, you're a winner. Then, a couple months after that, I was going upstairs and had my legs knocked out from underneath me, and I slid down the stairs on my belly scraping on my front side. Also, I do see he was teaching me to listen to my parents. The irony is not lost. The scar from that day has crept up to my ankle from the middle of my foot. Edit. I asked my grandma if he was related and she just walked away. So I'm not sure if he was actually a family member or if he was just a previous owner and they call him Uncle. I won't lie to you. This isn't anything big or that it hasn't escalated in a long time, but I firmly believe my house is haunted. And it likes to mess with my laundry for some reason. Nearly every time I start a load in the washer, I close the top and close the doors to the machine. I will notice the washer has stopped long before it should have. Lo and behold, the lid of the washer would be back open. Now, this isn't a fancy washer or anything, probably the cheapest you could get, and it certainly does not have a function that auto-closes, opens the lid. Hell, the most high-tech thing about the two is that the dryer makes a chime when it's done. Even today, when I started laundry, I made damn sure that lid was closed before I shut the doors, and right after I do, I go pet my cat. And as I do, I get this funny feeling, so I turn around, open the doors, and the lid was open. Not even a minute went by. No noises were made, and it had opened the washer. I don't know why this ghost is obsessed about my washer. It doesn't move anything else like that around the house. Hello all, this is my ghost story. When I was younger, I had a black German Shepherd named Benjamin. Ben for short. He was the most loyal and friendly dog, but got really scared whenever there was one crying through the cracks or fireworks were cracking outside. We lived, at the time, in a block or flat on the 10th floor, all solid panel, so there wasn't much noise from the neighbors. This story happened 7 years ago on New Year's celebration, half a year after our dog Ben passed away. Everything was normal. Me and my fiancé, mom and dad, and best friend were celebrating New Year at our flat, watching fireworks beginning to shoot from our window. Everything went alright for a few minutes until one of our blasted neighbors decided to throw out some homemade explosives, which did a really loud bangs. Suddenly, my best friend turned and screamed for her life. Me and my mom turned to see what has happened, only to see this dog-like black mass jump down the bed positioned across the window, followed by shattering glass sound. After initial shock, we decided to check if the glasses for champagne fell and shattered or what, only to find nothing has been broken. but my dog's memorial photo to be flung across the room to the other side of the bed, and it being put under my mom's bag, which is usually pretty heavy because she'd tend to have too many things there, without being broken, even slightly cracked. None of us can make sense to how it got there or what the black mass was. My mom and my best friend are the only ones to see the black mask, and my fiance and dad to be additional to hear the shattering glass with the rest of us. After a few minutes of trying to rationalize what had happened, Mom waves it off as it was probably just Benjamin being scared of the loud firework. We laugh it off despite knowing damn well Ben is dead for half a year, and continue to enjoy our New Year's celebration. Note, none of us were drunk. Each of us had only a sip of champagne for the new. I remember my mom talking about previous dog before Ben, that she felt him around for a while after he was gone. So it wasn't really weird of her to tell the same about Ben, and none of us was really scared. It was just weird. Thanks for reading, and sorry for any mistakes. Not a native speaker.